Welcome students. In today's session we are going to study mineral and power resources chapter part second, remaining part, that is power resources. So power or energy plays vital role, very important role in our life. For various activities purpose we require power in the form of light, in the form of heat, in the form of electricity, etc. We also need power for industry, agriculture, transport, communication and defense. In these various fields, for doing various activities, we require power. Power resources may be broadly categorized as conventional and non-conventional resources. So step by step we will study which resources are called conventional energy resources as well as which resources are called as non-conventional power resources. First of all, conventional sources. The energy which has been in common use for a long time. Examples are firewood and fossil fuel. So some energy which we have been using, commonly we are using those like firewood and fossil fuel. These sources of energy are called as conventional sources of energy. First of all, firewood, widely used for cooking and heating. Firewood, which is we mainly used for cooking as well as heating. Various we can use to say uses of firewood in the bakery shops, most probably for baking bakery products, as well as firewood most probably in villages. People now also they are using firewood for cooking as well as heating. 50% of energy used by the villagers comes from firewood. Now also in the villages, if you will go, then if we can see near about 50% villagers they use firewood for cooking as well as their day-to-day life. Remains of plants and animals which were buried under the earth for millions of the years got converted by the heat and pressure into fossil fuels. Here see the another conventional source of energy, that is fossil fuel. But fossil fuel we cannot obtain or get easily. This fossil fuel formation, it requires millions of years. And how these get formed? Remains of plants and animals after burying under the earth's surface, due to the heat and due to the pressure, got converted and into the fossil fuel. Fossil fuels such as coal, petroleum and natural gas are the main source of conventional energy. So fossil fuel, from the fossil fuel we can get coal in the form of petroleum as well as natural gas. So these are the main sources of conventional energy. The rate at which the growing world population is consuming them is far greater than the rate of their formation. It means that world rising population is consuming these fossil fuel at the high rate, but the formation of this fossil fuel is very low. So they are likely to be exhausted soon. So these fossil fuel, the sources of these fossil fuels going to be exhausted soon, going to be vanished, these rate of fossil fuel from the earth. Here this we can see coal. Coal is one of the conventional source of energy, one of the form of abundantly found fossil fuel used as domestic fuel in industries such as iron and steel, steam engines to generate electricity. So this fossil fuel means coal, that is for the domestic purpose also we use coal, as well as in industries, most probably iron and steel industries, steam engine running purpose coal is required. Electricity from coal is called thermal power. The electricity which we get it from Coal, that is called as thermal power, like that electricity we get from the water, that is hydroelectricity. Likewise, electricity which we obtain from coal called thermal electricity or thermal power. The coal was formed millions of years ago when giant ferns and swamps got buried under the layers of the earth. Giant ferns and swamps under the layer of the earth, and that's why coal is therefore called as the buried sunshine. The leading coal producers of the worlds in the world, if we can use to say the leading countries, leading countries are China, USA, Germany, Russia, South Africa and France. The coal producing areas of India. In India, leading coal producing areas are Raniganj, Jharia, Dhanbad and Bokaro in Jharkhand, especially eastern part of our country, most probably areas where coal is largely produced. Next, you can see in the image, do you know what is black gold? So, petroleum and its derivative products are called as black gold. Like we have studied here, coal is referred as buried sunshine. Likewise, black gold is referred petroleum and its derivatives. Petrol keeps your running car. Oil keeps your cycle from squeaking. Both begins as thick black liquid called petroleum. Means petrol for running car purpose, petrol, diesel require, as well as oil which we use for the keeps cycle from squeaking, as well as in most probably gadgets, electronic gadgets, for smooth running purpose we used, that is derived from black liquid, that is called as petroleum. Petroleum found between the layers of rocks which drilled from oil fields located in offshore and coastal areas. See, petroleum we obtained between the layers of rocks. Then this petrol we are especially located in offshore as well as in coastal areas. After drilling those petrol, means thick black liquid that is sent to refineries, where this petroleum products refined in the refineries, which process the crude oil and produce a variety of products like diesel, petrol, kerosene, wax, plastics and lubricants. Means from the black thick oil, crude oil, that is called as crude oil, from that variety of products are made like diesel, petrol, kerosene, wax, plastics and lubricants. Petroleum and its derivatives are called black gold, which are very valuable. Also petroleum called as rock oil, because we obtained it from between the layers of rocks. Now, chief petroleum producing countries, major petroleum producing countries in the world, especially Gulf countries, are referred in this manner. Means chief petroleum producing countries: Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Other major producers are like USA, Russia, Venezuela and Algeria. But these Gulf countries especially are chief petroleum producing countries. Likewise, in India also, some of the places where leading means the production of these petroleum resources we can found, like Digboi in Assam, Bombay High in Mumbai in Arabian Sea, Bombay High, the area from where we can obtain this natural gas, and deltas of Krishna and Godavari rivers. These are the leading producers in India places. Now, natural gas. Natural gas found with the petroleum deposits. Petroleum deposit when released That time crude these natural gas is released when crude oil is brought to the surface. Crude oil means thick black liquid. Afterwards we obtain petroleum and the other derivatives. So when this crude oil is brought to the surface, that time one type of gas is released from that crude oil, that is called as natural gas. This natural gas is used as domestic as well as in industrial fuel. Domestic use we use for cooking purpose, as well as in the industries this natural gas fuel is used. Major producers of natural gas countries are Russia, Norway, UK and the Netherlands. Then in India, these natural gas producers producing areas are Jaisalmer, Krishna Godavari Delta, then Tripura, and some areas offshore in Mumbai. Offshore seaside, sea coast areas, especially in Mumbai, have natural gas resources. Causes. So what are the causes or disadvantages? Causes for concern: sharp increase in our consumption of fossil fuel has led to their depletion at an alarming rate. That is this fossil fuel formation purpose millions of years required, but we are not using these resources carelessly we are using. For that reason, what is happening? There is threat that these fossil fuels, going to exhaust from the planet Earth. Toxic pollutants are released from burning these fuels. When these fossil fuels burning in the form of vehicle or in the form of industrial appliances, what is happening? That time toxic pollutants released from burning fuel. While burning fuel, hazardous chemical contents or the pollutants released which mixed in the atmosphere. Unchecked burning of fossil fuel is like an unchecked dripping tap which will eventually run dry. If the running tap, dripping tap which is releasing continuous water, when one day what will happen? It will be definitely going to dry. Like that way, unchecked burning of fossil fuel is there is a no check or no any limitations on the use of this fossil fuel. For that reason, in future one day it is going to create a huge problem. This has led to the tapping of various non-conventional sources of energy that are cleaner alternatives to fossil fuels, and cause of that unnecessary use of fossil fuel, there is a threat in front of the human beings. For that reason, we should switch on to the use of non-conventional sources, because these non-conventional sources of energy compared to the conventional sources of energy are less pollutant, less the less for the threat to the human beings. For that reason, we should switch on to the use of non-conventional sources. So here the third point, that is the conventional source of energy, hydel power. Hydel power, rainwater or river water stored in dams. Hydel power, the power which we obtain from the water, that is hydel power. First of all, how this hydel power is obtained? Hydel power in the form of the rainwater or river water. First of all, rainwater or river water is stored in the dams. Dams built and in dams, rainwater or river water stored. The falling water flows through pipes inside the dam over turbine blades placed at the bottom of the dam. At the bottom of the dam where turbine blades placed, and then from the dam the water flows through the pipes on the turbine blades. Then what is happening? These blades start moving. The moving blades then turn the generator to produce electricity. This is called hydroelectricity. See, hydro means water, and the electricity which we obtain from hydro or water, that is called as hydroelectricity. Water discharged after the generation of electricity is used for irrigation. 1/4 of the world's electricity is produced by the hydropower. Is 1/4 of the world's electricity which we are using most probably abundantly in our house, especially produced with the help of water, means hydroelectricity. Here see, this is the plant of hydroelectricity plant. Here this is the water, this water with the help of rain or river stored in the dam, and then at the bottom of the dam here this turbine placed, then with the help of pipe this water fall on this turbine. You can see here the water which is fall on the turbine. Then this turbine start moving, and then this is connected with one generator. With the help of the generator electricity produced. That electricity passed then for the domestic use or for the other industrial uses. Then this remaining water after falling on the turbine, then there is electricity generating. Then afterwards remaining water or that water is released for the agriculture purpose, released through this channel to the agriculture. Now with the in this manner hydroelectricity is produced. Leading producer of hydropower in the world: Paraguay, Norway, Brazil and China. These countries are the leading producers of the hydropower. Important hydropower stations in India. In India, most probably many dams are built. With the help of those dams, this hydroelectricity is produced. See, Bhakra Nangal, Gandhi Sagar, Nagarjun Sagar and Damodar Valley projects. With the help of these projects, hydroelectricity produced in India. Now, non-conventional sources of energy, we will see. Increasing use of fossil fuels lead to shortage. Lead to shortage means fossil fuel shortage, because fossil fuel formation purpose millions of years required, and that's why fossil fuel one day what will happen, there will be a shortage. If the present rate of consumption continues, the reserves of these fossil fuels will get exhausted. Definitely the consumption use of these fossil fuels, if carelessly we start using, or the consumption of this fossil fuel continues, one day this fuel will get exhausted. Their use also causes environmental pollution. We know that is this fossil fuel emits lot of pollutants, and hence environmental balance also falls. Therefore, there is a need for using non-conventional sources such as solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, which are renewable also, as well as less pollutant also, which released. So, we will see here solar energy. Solar energy, one of the non-conventional source of energy, which is also called as renewable energy. We can get it back. Solar energy trapped from the sun. That is why it is called as solar energy, sun energy. Used in solar cells to produce electricity. See, solar energy used in solar cells. Many of these cells are joined into solar panel to generate power for heating and lighting purpose. See, in the solar panel there are numbers of cells which are joined together, and then that is connected with the generator, and then solar energy is produced. And this solar energy is especially for cooking purpose, for lighting, especially street lights, as well as many machineries which run based on this solar panels. Solar energy is used in solar heaters, solar cookers, solar dryers, beside being used for community lighting and traffic signals, etc. See here how solar energy is made. This solar energy is obtained from the sun. So sun energy which is fall on the solar panel. Then this solar panel which is connected to the inverter, then in this what is happening with the help of this generator, this energy is transferred to the with the help of this generator, which is transferred to the domestic use purpose. Now the wind energy is also one of the important source of non-conventional source of energy. Wind energy, inexhaustible source of energy which is not going to exhaust. Windmills are used for grinding grain as well as lifting water. High speed winds rotate the windmill which is connected to a generator to produce electricity. Wind farms are found in Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, UK, USA and Spain. See here how is the wind energy worked. Here you can see these are the blades, and these blades are connected with one another with the help of this hub. This is the center, and if this blades gets rotated, what is happening? It is here the converter, and which is a generator which is connected over here at the bottom. Means this is the tower formation. If these blades rotate, then this is connected to this transformer, and then with the help of this transformer, this used for this electricity for this various purpose. So with the help of these blades, if the wind availability, high speed wind availability, then this blades start rotating. Then after this which is connected to the transformer, this tower, and then the electricity is stored in the transformer and which is passed to the various purpose. Now the nuclear power. Nuclear power obtained from energy stored in the nuclei of atoms of naturally occurring radioactive elements like uranium and thorium. Uranium and thorium, these are the sources of this nuclear energy which is obtained which is stored in the nuclei of atoms, undergo nuclear fission in nuclear reactors and emit the power. With the help of this nuclear fission in nuclear reactors, and then after emitting the power, we can use nuclear power. This is the nuclear power station. Greatest producers of nuclear power in USA and Europe. These countries are greatest producer of nuclear power energy. Large deposits of uranium in India, Rajasthan and Jharkhand, because this uranium which is required to produce nuclear power. Thorium found in large quantities, as well as thorium in the monazite sands of Kerala. Thorium deposits are found. Nuclear power stations in India, especially Kalpakkam in Tamil Nadu, Tarapur in Maharashtra, Rana Pratap Sagar near Kota in Rajasthan, Narora in Uttar Pradesh and Kaiga in Karnataka. So these are the nuclear power stations in India where nuclear power produced. Now geothermal energy, which is quite new for you. Geothermal energy. See, heat energy obtained from the earth. Temperature in the interior of the earth rises steadily with depth as we go below the earth's surface. So as the depth, temperature become rising. Heat energy may surface itself in the form of the hot springs. This energy is used to generate power, and in the form of hot springs, it has been used for cooking, heating and bathing. Now here see, this is the geothermal plant and how geothermal energy is obtained. You can see here, this is the surface of the earth. As we go deeper and deeper, the temperature become rising. So from here, this hot water, springs of hot water which is taken to the surface, then hot water steam, this steam with the help of this pipe is connected to this turbine. Due to this steam, hot steam, turbines rotates. Okay, and these turbines are connected to the generator, and with the help of this energy, transfer to one place to another places. And then this, after this steam, the again that steam is converted into the water, and then here cooling tower, this steam become cooler over here. After cooling, this steam is converting into water, which is again which we can implant or inject in the again back to the surface of the earth. So this is called as injection well, where again the cool water which is dumped into the well or below the earth's surface. So with the help of, in this manner, geothermal energy is produced. See here, this energy is used to generate power, and in the form of hot springs, it has been used for cooking, heating and bathing. So this water, hot water springs, hot water steam, that steam is used to generate electricity. Then that hot water is used for the bathing also. Many places this hot springs used for heating, various heating purpose as well as for cooking purpose, etc. World's largest geothermal power plants in US, followed by New Zealand, Iceland, Philippines and Central America. Then geothermal plants in India, located in Manikaran in Himachal Pradesh and Puga Valley in Ladakh. So here we can find geothermal plants. Now the tidal energy. Tidal energy especially generated from tides, sea tides. It can be harnessed by building dams at narrow openings of the sea. Sluice gate, like we have studied in standard 7th, sluice gate that is dam like structure, barrage like structure. During high tide, energy of the tide is used to turn the turbine installed in the dam to produce electricity. I will show you. This is the plant of tidal energy. Here see, this is the sea basin, and in the middle of the this basin, what is built over here? Tidal barrage like sluice gate like structure. And what is happening at the bottom of this barrage? There is placed turbine. When this tides comes and tides over here placed, when the rate of this tides high, then what is happening? The water falls rapidly on this turbine, then turbine gets rotated, then this turbine connected to the generator, and then the electricity gets produced. So in this manner tidal energy is obtained. See here, huge tidal mills farms in Russia, France and Gulf of Kutch in India. In India also, if you will go to Gulf of Kutch, you can see tidal energy plant is located over there. Now the biogas. Organic waste means dead plant and animal material, animal dung and kitchen waste. That is called as organic waste. With the help of organic waste, this can be converted into a gaseous fuel called biogas. Means this organic waste, we with the help of this organic waste we can obtain fuel, that is biogas. Organic waste is decomposed by bacteria in biogas digesters, will emit biogas. See here, this is the biogas plant, and here this is animal waste, which is digester. Here this is the digester, and with the help of bacteria this dung is digested by the bacteria, and then the gas is released in this gas holder, and afterwards this gas with the help of tap, which used for the domestic purpose. You can see this is the inlet kitchenware, as well as this is with the help of human excreta as well as animal excreta, then kitchen waste which is stored here in the digester, and after bacteria then decompose process takes place over here, then the gas is emit, and then the gas is used for domestic purpose, and remaining overflow of this from this slurry, which is removed again here, and then we can use as like a manure or dumped under the surface. So this is the biogas process. So you might be understood now here. Organic waste means dead plant and animal material, animal dung and kitchen waste. From that we can produce biogas. Then the biogas, actual what happened, organic waste which is decomposed by the bacteria in biogas and then emit the gas, is an excellent fuel for cooking and lighting and produce huge amount of organic manure each year. This energy, why it is important, because excellent fuel, we can use domestic purpose, various purpose this biogas energy, as well as after using that in the form of organic manure for the farm is also available. Harnessing this energy is both difficult as well as costly, but we cannot harness this energy. We can transfer one place to another place, we can use for the domestic use purpose. Now here see conventional sources of energy. Here the firewood, you can see here the coal, then the hydropower, as well as oil and natural gas. And as we have studied conventional sources of energy, which are especially which produce loss, most probably firewood is there, means easy to access, but lot of pollutant released from that. Likewise coal is also polluting, then hydropower. Step by step we can see here. First of all, oil. What are the advantages of oil? Easier to transport. Then basis of petrochemical industries, oil is used. But the disadvantages of oil: natural oil, depletion of oxygen due to oil spilling and gas leakage, pollutant released in the atmosphere, cause of that acid rain, problems create in the future. Then exploration of new fuel is not easy. Suppose in Bombay High, which deposits are in the sea, so this is not an easy in the financial manner. It is not an easy, or it is too costly to explore new resources or new fuel. Then natural gas, some of the advantages: easier to transport. With the help of pipeline we can transport one place to another places. Cleaner than oil and coal, use of natural gas, and cheaper than the oil. Natural gas prices are cheaper than the oil, but natural gas is also, these are the disadvantages. If the natural gas released, it emits lot of toxicants in the form of acid rain. we can face the problems. Here see firewood. Firewood advantages easy access, provide energy to a large number of people, especially rural areas. People, they are illiterate and most probably they are using this type of energy, but collection is consuming. Then it is after burning firewood, it create pollution, then promoting greenhouse effects, deforestation. Firewood purpose, we need to cut down the trees, and this lead deforestation. Then coal, advantages of coal extensively available. Then if efficient conversion to electricity, but the disadvantages polluting source and bulky to transport. It's not an easy to transport. Then hydroelectricity advantages, non-polluting means no any pollution takes place while generating this electricity. Promotes irrigation and fishing. For generating such hydel power, means what is happening, most probably water is stored in the dam, and in dam most probably fishing done by the local people. It is cheap produce cheap way we can get obtain this energy. But the hydel power plant, for that reason displacement of local community, means while building dam, the displacement process means whatever the local areas or whatever the villages, rehabilitation process is required for that reason, as well as expensive to set up. Building dams, building channels are not an easy task or not cheap in the cost. It is very much high expenses are required for that. So these are all about conventional sources of energy. Now the non-conventional sources of energy, we have seen wind energy, then solar energy, then tidal energy, then nuclear energy, and the biogas. Likewise geothermal energy also we have studied. So all these non-conventional sources, especially if we will see advantages, these are non-polluting sources. We will see wind energy. Wind energy means when the turbine blades rotate, that time noise pollution takes place. Windmills costly to set up, lot of expenditure is required for that. It disturbs radio and TV receptions, means harm, as well as harmful to birds also. Then solar energy, this is also expensive, means solar panels which are very much expensive. Diffused source so gets wasted during the rainy season, bad weather conditions, this may be diffused. Then tidal energy destroys wildlife habitat, as well as difficult to harness tidal energy. Then nuclear energy generates radioactive waste which emit chemical pollutants, which is also expensive. Plant, for setup plant which is very much expensive. Then biogas causes greenhouse effect. Then the geothermal energy located far away from the cities, which is very much away, remote places, and cause of that very much costly to transport this electricity from one place to another place. I hope you understood from this session remaining part. Thank you.